poetry. An epic poetry or an epic poem is a long narrative poem told in a definite language celebrating the actions of hero. Is a long narrative poem told in a dignified language celebrating the actions of hero. It gives a series of heroic deeds and events significant to a culture or a nation. So, dear student, what do you understand from this definition? Is that an epic poem is a long narrative poem which recounts the heroic deeds. There is involvement of hero and deeds. So, what is a hero? For me, there is some characteristic of a hero generally. A hero, number one, have to have a strange birth. A strange birth. Second, exile. Third one, immortality. So an epic poetry, whatever poem you will read and meet that it recounts a heroic deeds and it is long poem. So that time it will be classified in epic poetry. Dear student, we are going to see the characteristics of an epic poem. Characteristics of an epic poem. Number one, an epic poem, the hero is a figure of great nation or even cosmetic important and represent a cultural heroic deeds, heroes with special powers. The hero in the poem should be a hero with special powers and from the known cultural background and country. Number two, the setting of the poem is simple in scale and may be worldwide even later. The setting of this poem should not be in one country. It should be in various countries. The third one, the hero should be divine intervention of supernatural powers. So the characteristic of this hero, it is that it has a supernatural powers. For example, should have gods, angels, demons also should be intervened. Invocation of the act of calling the assistance or represent a spiritual being is also manifested in the epic poem. Also, the epic poem, it is written in verse style. In verse style, it means when we say verse style, in a poem, we know that what is the verse style. There is also use of enumeration, mentioning things one by one. For example, they tend to provide a long list of objects, places, people with the broad context. Also, the action is made by heroic deeds such as a great courage, honor, sacrifice, patriotism, and kindness. Also, there is a heavy repetition when they writing the epic poem. They tend to repeat several times line, verse, or words. Also, we see the narrator of this poem as omniscient. It means the narrator can see inside, even in the mind of the hero in this poem. And the conception of Sundiata, whereby have a strange birth and later she went in exile. Then the king, when the king knew that Sundiata was conceived, so it was a problem. So we shall see what happened in this poem. Here now we have some of the epic poems that are very known. Number one, we have the Birth of Chaka. Number two, we have Maj Maj. Number three, we have the Legend of Riyongo. Or those, if we read them, we shall analyze one by one and the characteristic of this poem, really, if they are epic poems from their heroes and heroic deeds. Thank you very much. We